Okay, we're gonna try again. I've made this video several times and the phone rings and I pause it, but it cuts off after so long. So let's do it again. We're gonna make a Capri Sun party favor bag. You know, you could use these at parties, put things in them. Oh my gosh, see? Okay, so I have an order. I have to make 25 and 22, so I'm getting really bored with the process, and so I got to find a way to make this more interesting, so I thought I would make a video. Some people are asking for different Capri Sun videos. I've made the pencil pouch, so this is the party favor bag. It takes 5 pouches, 4 for the sides, kind of like a third, 2/3 of a pouch for the bottom, and then what's left over from the bottom I cut into these strips to make the handle. Okay, so start with making the sides of the pouch. You're gonna put the 2 gray, the backs, back to back, and then you're gonna sew down the side with a zigzag stitch as if you were using a serger, where the needle goes on the package and then off the package. You see what I mean? I'll show you in a second. And then back stitch, of course. But when you sew the zigzag like this, like I stated, you're able to it doesn't lay flat. It makes a side. See what I mean? If you were to sew it with 2 on top of each other, it would lay flat. Okay, so we're gonna do 4 of these, and again, back to back. Do that 3 times to make 4 packages. Be sure you double stitch, back stitch when you start and when you finish. So there you have 3. So we're going to add the 4th one, and this will be our sides. Okay, so there's 4. So while you have it still like this unassembled, you want to add your handle, because once you add the bottom and you get it all assembled, it's a little bit tougher to get it in there and get a handle on it. You can do it, but it's just easier to go ahead and put the handle on right now. Now I have a few handles made. I covered up all my junk so y'all couldn't see it all. So I have a handle made, and like I said, I'll show you how to make these. This is really easy. You just overlap 2 of the pieces and zigzag stitch, double stitch it so that it'll hold up good, and it'll take 3 pieces to make the handle. So we'll do the other piece, do it the same way. And now we're going to sew down the sides just like we did here, just to kind of cover up the raw edges a little bit, and it looks a little neater when you do that. So these pieces, I don't cut them with a ruler, so sometimes they're a little uneven. You can just trim them up. Doesn't have to be perfect. So now we're going to sew down both sides just to cover up the raw edges of the pack. Same zigzag stitch. And then just go down the other side. So now we got to put our handle on the party favor bag. And because you want the handle to go across either way, you're going to put it on every other bag. So what I usually do is the second and the fourth bag. Doesn't matter, you can do the first and the third, it just has to be every other bag. And I double stitch it as well. I mean, heck, you don't know what kids will put in here. They may put rocks in here or something. I don't know. And then do the same thing. And what I do is I center it above the straw hole that you would drink the juice out of. I just center the handle above it. And then trim. Trim all your threads. I try to trim them as I go just because it's a little easier. Okay, so now we're going to start with the bottom. That was the hardest piece for me. So if you hold your bag like this, we set the handle on the second and fourth. So this is the fourth. So what you want to do is start the bottom on this fourth bag. So we're going to do it just like we did the sides, and we're going to do it back to back just like that. Sew it on the same way, same zigzag stitch. This will probably be the most confusing part, but once you do it one or two times, you're good. Okay. So we have that on. Now, to make it a bottom, what we're going to have to do is take this bag and just pull this side, pull it over to meet this other side. See how it's forming the bottom already? So what you're going to do is take it, pull it over to meet this second pouch, fold that down to where it's flat, and you see it's going to hang off some. See how that's hanging off? So what you want to do, just go ahead and trim that, and then it'll be fairly even. So put it under your machine and sew that down, same stitch. So we have two sides of the bottom sewed on. Okay, now you're going to do the same thing. You're going to pull this over, but we can't because it's too big. So you want to cut it even with this pouch. And you know, it's a rough cut. We're not going to measure it, anything like that. So we're just going to take our scissors and just cut up toward that pouch and see how now they're even. And this is the part I was saying you would cut to use for the handle. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to pull this over to meet this third pouch. And you'll have to maneuver your pouch around. You'll have to crush it flat. And again, it's a little bit, it hangs off the edge a little bit. So we're going to trim it again. Sometimes you have to trim more. Same stitch, sew it the same way again. And you can fold these any way you want. They will always get their shape back. I mean, they're so easy to work with. Okay, so now we're on the fourth side. And see how it's already coming together? So now we're going to do the fourth side just like all the others. Fold it. You can fold it all down just like that so you can get it under your machine. And then we're going to sew it down. So you know now that you can make this little bag this size, you can use the same technique, the same tutorial to make a bigger bag. Just add more pouches. Okay, so we have the bottom on, and your bag is almost done. So now all you have to do is sew up this last side that's loose. And what I do is, it's already kind of folded flat. I've just kind of got it down pat. Just pull it out like that, and it kind of matches these two up for you. So just sew those, and then you'll have to fold this flat to be able to see it. Push it under there. And one thing about this, it's not going to mess your machine up. I mean, this is my best machine. I have two other machines. This is my digital computerized machine. The only thing I noticed that it does is dull your needles. You know, not a big deal. Now, I hope in time it won't do anything, but I used my old machine all the time for it before I got this new machine, when it was my only machine. So, and now all you have to do is straighten it out. And you might have to go back and clip a few more little loose strings, you know, just because it looks better. But that is a juice pouch party favor bag.